Joyride 1957, Chapter 7. As James walked out of the Capitol building in the state of Rhode Island, the gray sky had turned bright. His right ear still stung. He wasn't sure what had happened in the Capitol. Was he shot at, or was somebody else a target? His ribs still hurt as well, thanks to the bull moose. He put it behind him. He had work to do. The Rhode Island Congress was in session, and there were fine automobiles parked everywhere. He had borrowed a 1957 Plymouth Fury and Banger for the trip through New England. It was bright red with a white top, but try as he might, he could only get one radio station. He spotted an immaculate 1957 Lincoln Premier, triple white. He knew instantly that would be the one. The top was down and the key was in it. He wouldn't have to hotwire this one. He slid into the driver's seat and turned the key. The engine was so silent he wasn't sure it was running. The 368 cubic inch engine and its 300 horsepower were quiet as a mouse. He backed the car out, put the shift lever into drive, and cruised out of the lot onto the street. The interior was immaculate, and the dashboard was simply beautiful. The speedometer was in a raised section, and the odometer read 99 miles. Then he noticed the plaque on the glove box. For distinguished service, Governor Roberts. Put the power seat back all the way, a big smile on his face. Put the visors up and headed east on Highway 6 toward Newport, Rhode Island. He checked his rear view mirror for suspicious cars, saw none, and cruised east at 70 miles an hour. The Lincoln still made no sound whatsoever. As he entered Newport, he checked his map. It appeared the Newport Tower was right in town. He drove south on Broadway, then made a 180-degree turn onto Toro Street, and in a bit saw the most unusual formation he could ever remember. He was set toward the center of a grassy park. He had to walk several hundred feet, but soon was at the tower. It was magnificent. James had never seen anything like it. It appeared to be about 30 feet high and about 20 feet in diameter. It was circular at the top, made of gray stone, and was supported by 8 columns forming 8 arches. The main chamber had 4 windows on what appeared to be the main floor, and the 3 small windows on the upper level. He ran his hand over the rough stones repeatedly and marveled at the architecture. James then climbed up one of the columns, and despite his sore ribs, soon reached the top. The windows seemed to fascinate him. He studied them carefully for at least 20 minutes. He then surmised that the small window on the upper west facade and the north window were 2 important ones. He climbed down from the tower and pulled his maps out of his coat pocket. He spread them out on the ground and began to study. He was a map maker by trade and went over everything for a long time. Finally, he took out his pencil and wrote some figures in his notebook. Below his notes on Oak Island, the last of which read 44.51 degrees north, 64.29 degrees west, followed by a big question mark, he wrote 41.48 degrees north, 71.30 degrees west. He then pulled a small rubber ruler from his pocket and drew a straight line on the map from the Newport Tower clear across North America. He drew several rather detailed diagrams. He then started to fold the map, but was startled by a voice. "Find anything interesting?" the deep voice said. He turned and looked up at a man in a turquoise shirt and tan slacks. "Not really," James said as he gathered up his maps and stood. "Marvelous place, isn't it?" the man said. "Sure is," James said. "Do I know you?" he asked. "I don't think so. I was just passing through the area and wanted to see this." He pointed to the tower. "Yes, it is magnificent," James said. "I must be going. Have a good day." He turned and walked toward his waiting white chariot. The gentleman watched him walk away, then began to study the tower himself. After a few minutes, he shook his head and returned to his 1957 dark green Dodge Regent, the one with a Hemi. On the other side of the park, the buxom blonde maid eased her 200 gorgeous pounds out of her 1957 cream-colored Pontiac Star Chief two-door hardtop. and walked briskly toward the tower with her notebook in hand. She left the 347 cubic inch engine idling.